Hello, I'm Erik Roby.
And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll show you a good way to help needy families during the holidays and how you can volunteer to help your local parks. But first, making headlines, good news is bubbling up on a local creek trying to make a comeback. The Department of Public Works has announced a plan to improve Rock Creek by installing a new system that pumps air into the creek to boost oxygen and decrease pollution. The system is known as, a scientific name here, Bubbler. The $272,000 project repairs a pipe at the bottom of the creek while also increasing the air pressure and extending the length of the pipe. The idea is that the air shakes up algae that blocks sunlight and chokes underwater grasses that are key to the health of the creek. Rock Creek has been closed to human contact for decades, and Public Works officials say bubblers are not a definitive solution to restoring the creek completely. The creek was hit hard by development along Fort Smallwood Road in Pasadena. The project is one way county government is attacking pollution in our waterways. In addition to, of course, our recycling program, our stream restoration projects, and partnering with volunteer cleanup groups. We'll keep you informed about these efforts so that you can join the fight as well.
Well, it sure sounds like an interesting project, Kristin, in bubbler, scientific term.
Bubbler.
Right? You're guaranteeing
I'm saying
that.
It's scientific, it's scientific.
Well, you've got the PhD,
That's
not
right.
me. Well, we really have different ways of approaching big problems in this county that took decades to build. We have the new streamlined restorations in Crownsville and Annapolis and the fountains up in Glen Burnie that have a similar purpose. And there are so many cleanups that give us a chance to contribute, sponsored by environmental groups and government agencies like Recreation and Parks. Folks, we want to extend our best wishes to Phil Bailey, who is retiring as the face of Anne Arundel House of Hope. Bailey is leaving to battle cancer. The Baltimore Ravens honored him earlier this month for his work in the community with a community quarterback award.
Go Ravens!
There you go. Bailey has been working to help the homeless since 1997. The House of Hope has grown each year, and so has the Winter Relief Program that they sponsor. A new program called Lots of Love helps people living in their cars by providing places for them to park, get hot meals and a hot shower, and help their kids with homework. Bailey told the Maryland Gazette that he has no plans to give in to cancer. Good luck to Phil, and thanks for all that you've done and will continue to do for our community. You are a real inspiration for everybody out there, Kristin.
Phil sounds pretty amazing,
He's
actually.
a good guy.
Yeah, I want to be an honorary quarterback through the Ravens. You think that could happen?
No.
No?
Not so much.
Not even a little?
Maybe a little.
That hurts. Okay. Well, Erik, you know we always like to carve out some time for those fuzzy friends of ours over at Animal Control. First, an update. Earlier, we reported that we had an anonymous donor came forward and offered to pay for 4 days' worth of adoptions to help find loving homes for dogs and cats. Well, people responded, and 64 pets went to happy homes for free. Word is that that was double the number of adoptions in this same period last year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So now maybe you're on the fence and you need a little convincing to get yourself down to Animal Control. How about this?
Aww.
Yeah, I'm mean, aren't I?
You are mean.
Stephen Moulton adopted this tabby cat just before Thanksgiving. Her name is Autumn. Appropriate. He also adopted a friend for Autumn named Maxwell. And if that doesn't do it for you, Erik, here comes the guilt. I think we have a good idea what town Stephen lives in. Thank you for your service, and thanks for saving 2 lives of furry friends. Nice. The fun continues at Animal Control. They are currently accepting donations to make sure homeless pets have a happy holiday season. If you want to step up and help, and please do if you can, the following items are needed: canned food, crates and carriers, leashes and collars, pet toys, dry food, cat litter, bird feed, and bird toys. For more information, you can like Animal Control on Facebook. You can also call them at 410-222-8900, or you can go to our homepage, www.aacounty.org, and click on the banner.
I thought that was your Christmas list, Kristin.
Oh, really? That is so funny. You know, I don't even have a witty comeback right now. That was actually pretty good.
Of course not. The cats think the birds are feed and toys. There's more Week in Review to come, including our interview with the good folks from the Department of Social Services to talk about their holiday sharing program. And as we go into the break, check out our community calendar for upcoming events around your county. Stay with us. Ho, ho, ho. We'll be right back. And welcome back, folks. Well, it's that time of year. Yes, it's holiday time. So, Kristin, I've got my red tie on.
Oh, you're all ready to go. And I see you have a friend with you, too.
I have a friend. This is my friend. His name is Big Max.
Big Max.
Big Max.
Big Max.
Is here to kick off a great program. And, of course, we've got Tanya Steele and Chris Poulsen from our Anne Arundel County Department of Social Services to talk to us today about the Holiday Sharing Program. Guys, this program's been around for a while, and it's such an important program because it matches donors in the county that really want to help out those that are less fortunate to make sure that they have a great holiday season. Chris, tell us a little bit about the program, how it started, and what's on tap for this year.
Okay, actually the program started 32 years ago when we had some volunteers come into the agency and actually wanted to do something for families in need. And they started that first year, unbelievably, with yellow pages in the phone book, calling up people, trying to get them to help some of the families. And from there, we have grown every year till this is our 32nd year. And we now have 500 donors helping out in the program and helping thousands of families. So it's been quite a progression from the first year on to this year.
So 500 donors in the program. But Tanya, I know we're always looking for more. So if somebody out there watching the program today says, I really want to do something special for Christmas, I want to help somebody else, I want to really get into the spirit of Christmas and giving, what do they do?
Well, they can give us a call at 410-269-4462, or they can go to Facebook. Anne Arundel County Department of Social Services has a Facebook page, and you can also sign up or connect to me through our Facebook page as well.
And we know that you ladies specifically wanted to come on the program today because we are in urgent need of some more donors. Can you give us an idea of the numbers of families versus donors you currently have at this time?
Well, this year has been, obviously we know we've been in a tough economy situation, so this year we sent out actually 9,000 cards to people who qualified for help. And those people are basically people on cash assistance, food stamps, many of them working part-time jobs, maybe 2 part-time jobs or a full-time job at minimum wage, and just can't make it. So they qualify for programs that we run, such as food stamps and cash assistance. So we sent the cards out by mail. They send them back to us saying that they need help. We also, on the other side, send out donor letters to all our donors from the past 2 years to say, would you like to help again? We really need your help. So this year, we really need a lot of help because our normal goal is about 5,000. So we're really almost doubling the number of people we have to help this year.
Wow.
So we still have a lot of children who are waiting for gifts for Christmas, and we have seniors who maybe have no family around and are really waiting for somebody to just say, I care about you at Christmas.
And it's an interesting way this program works is that you, with Department of Social Services, actually, when the donor contacts you, you match them with a family. And then the family actually is in contact with the donor. They deliver the gifts. That's an interesting way to set this up, Tanya.
It really allows the donor to connect directly with the families that they are helping and the children, and it makes it more personal. So a donor can call us up and they can specifically ask for young children or older teenagers. They can specify the part of the county that they want the family from, and we've had even donors drill it down to, you know, the number of children in the family, if you want small or a large family, and then you contact the family directly and deliver the gifts, if you're going to provide gifts, or the food basket directly to the family. And then you can call that family and converse with them and set up the time that you wish to provide to drop off their gifts to them, and also get that wish list from that parent of those children so that, you know, you can specify the gifts directly to the children.
And there's other programs that are running right now in conjunction with what you guys are doing. For example, Christmas Angels with Salvation Army. How do you check to make sure that we don't have several donors for the same family?
This is one of the really key important parts of our program, because you have, like Christmas Angel you mentioned, which is run through the Salvation Army. We have 30 partners who either come physically into our office or they send in their list, long list, and we, with our volunteers, enter that information into the system and then allow those donors to choose those families that they already have on their list, so that then when those families ask for help from us, we're not duplicating efforts. We're making sure that the family is not getting double from, 2 different entities.
That's really great. And then it's also good that you have the database now instead of the phone book that we first started on. I imagine there were probably duplicates back then.
We have programs.
Now, of course, everybody's financially strapped right now. And as we said, we're in a difficult economy. But we also wanted to highlight that there's other programs that you run throughout the year. So we really hope that you can donate at this time. It's a very pivotal time that you want to donate to families. But what other things do you offer throughout the year to help families in need?
Well, the next program that we have coming up will be our Homeless Resource Day, which is a big day in the county, and that's going to be March 16th this year. And that's a day where we try to help the homeless in this county, giving them services that are often very difficult for them to get. And last year we helped about 675 homeless, and there are about 82 service providers who come that day and offer their services for free, from medical, dental, legal, nonprofits, motor vehicles, Social Security. Everybody comes. So that's a huge event, and that takes about 500 volunteers to come and help us out that day. So that definitely is a program that people could help us with. If you've ever been in court and had jury duty, you've probably seen one of us or a volunteer talking to you about that small jury fee that you get that we ask you to donate for foster children, and we use that for needs that are not covered by any other funding. So it's special things like camp, it could be tutoring if they've gotten behind in school, it could be other things that there's just no other funding for. And then Tanya has some other programs as well that she's going to talk about.
We have our mentoring program that runs all year round. These are for our children between the ages of 8 and 21 years old, who are either in foster care or whose family has an open case. So they have a social worker who goes out to that home and who's working with that family. And we match caring adults in the community with those individual children for an entire year. We ask them to volunteer at least 1 hour a week. We do an extensive background check, of course, and we provide training, but those young people have the opportunity to learn from someone in the community.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Tanya, Chris, ladies, thank you for everything that you guys are doing. A lot of great programs. This hat here, Big Max has got on. You think I look good in that? Well, listen, Big Max, thanks for coming out. Thanks for telling us about this program. Folks, if you want to get involved in this program, of course, you can check out the information at the bottom of the screen, the Facebook page, the phone number. I encourage everybody to get in the holiday spirit and donate, if you can, to those less fortunate. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, there'll be more Week in Review. Stay with us.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. On November 28, 2012, at approximately 5:25 p.m., officers from the Northern District responded to Cab Connection, located in the 600 block of Hammonds Ferry Road, north in Linthicum, for a report of a police impersonator that had occurred earlier. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy, who has further details on the investigation. Justin.
When officers arrived, they spoke with a representative of Cab Connection who stated that one of their drivers had been followed by a male subject in a Pontiac G6 claiming to be a police officer. Investigation determined that the 35-year-old male victim was traveling on Ritchie Highway. That's when the suspect began following him on Ritchie Highway due to a disagreement over a potential traffic violation between the two on the roads. The suspect continued to follow the victim into the MVA parking lot located in the 6600 block of Ritchie Highway South. That's where the suspect forced the victim to pull over his vehicle by boxing him in. The suspect then proceeded to exit his vehicle, confront that victim, claiming to be a police officer while wearing a jacket with the word police written on the back. The suspect then began to strike the hood of the victim's vehicle with his fist prior to fleeing the scene. Now, through further investigation, officers located the suspect at his residence in the 4100 block of Townsend Avenue. It's where it was determined that he was not a police officer. As a result, the suspect was taken into custody and charged with first and second degree assault, reckless endangerment, and impersonating a police officer. That suspect is Brian Edward Benway, age 48, of 4148 Townsend Avenue in Brooklyn Park, Maryland. He was charged with first and second degree assault, again, as mentioned, reckless endangerment, and that impersonating a police officer charge. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one took place on November 28th, about 10:45 in the evening. That's when officers from the Northern District responded to the Gulf gas station. That's located in the 200 block of Aquahart Road in Glen Burnie for a robbery that just took place. When officers arrived, they spoke with the victim, a 23-year-old male, who reported that he was sitting in his vehicle in the parking lot when he was approached by a male suspect who brandished a handgun and demanded money. That suspect ultimately took money and property from that victim before fleeing in what was described as a dark-colored sedan with 3 other occupants. Officers canvassed the area but were unable to locate the suspects. The suspect, who was armed, is described as a black male with a light complexion and a beard, wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt. Now, the 3 people in the vehicle, one's described as a black female with a light complexion and black hair. The other 2 suspects, very little information at this time other than they're described as 2 black males. Folks, as always, if you have information on the crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. That phone number is available 24 hours a day, toll free at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP, or you can text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Or visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, those phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. And remember, if you do see any of the suspects in question, call police immediately with the information. Never try to take matters into your own hands.
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,421 calls for service. This included 1,185 emergency medical calls and 129 fire calls. One of those calls came from North County to report an early morning apartment fire where county firefighters rescued 2 people. In the western area of the county, a woman was killed as the result of an auto accident. With more on these incidents is Battalion Chief Steve Thompson of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department, who is currently filling in for Division Chief Michael Cox. Chief.
Thanks, Kristin. The first incident occurred in the early morning hours of Thursday, November 22nd, 2012, when Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported building fire around 2:45 a.m. in the 7800 block of Tall Pines Court in Glen Burnie. The first units to arrive on the scene reported heavy smoke coming from the roof area of a 3-story garden apartment complex. At this time, additional resources were requested and interior fire suppression activities as well as search and rescue operations were initiated. There were numerous residents home at the time of the incident, many of whom escaped without injury. 3 occupants were rescued and assisted from the building by firefighters. 2 of the victims received minor injuries and were transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center for further evaluation. In all, it took more than 50 firefighters about 45 minutes to bring the 2-alarm incident under control. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation, and a damage estimate was not immediately available. It is important to note that the police had been summoned to the same apartment complex a short time before the fire for an altercation between 2 individuals. In the second incident, county firefighters responded to a reported motor vehicle collision in the Odenton area of the county Sunday, November 25th, 2012. The incident occurred around 8:18 p.m. in the 1100 block of Annapolis Road in Odenton. The first units to arrive on the scene reported a 2-vehicle collision with entrapment. Firefighters operating at the scene utilized hydraulic rescue tools to remove the trapped occupant from the vehicle. The patient, a female estimated to be in her mid to late 20s, suffered life-threatening injuries as a result of the incident. She is transported via ground ambulance to the University of Maryland's R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore, where she later died from the injuries sustained in the crash. Kristin?
Thanks, Chief. Initial investigation into the incident by county law enforcement officials indicates that the cause of the crash appears to be that the Lexus failed to yield the right-of-way to the Chevrolet. It is unknown at this time if speed, alcohol, or drugs were factors in this crash.
Well, this holiday season, Week in Review will be jam-packed with ideas on how you can contribute in your community. How about volunteering with the Department of Recreation and Parks? Well, if that sounds good to you, our own Carolyn Ryan has more in this week's Recreation and Park Spotlight. Carolyn.
Well, volunteering is defined as doing charitable or helpful work voluntarily. And here at the Department of Recreation and Parks, we absolutely love our volunteers who come out and help us. I'm here today with Nikki Fiacco, who is our Volunteer and Community Outreach Coordinator. Thanks for being on the show, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Nikki, tell us a little bit about some of the volunteer projects that have been done so far.
Sure. So since I've been with the Department of Recs and Parks since August, we've done activities like Severn School brought their 6th graders out to Fort Smallwood Park and did a beach cleanup. We also have done a park spruce up at Lake Waterford Park, where we had about 45 volunteers come out, and we did things like planting trees and remulching. And with a community partnership with the Watershed Stewards Academy, we actually cleaned up a stormwater retention area. We also had a fantastic opportunity where the U.S. Naval Academy men's soccer team came out and put on a free clinic for our adaptive kickball league. So within the community and within our county, we have a lot of exciting and unique volunteer opportunities for individuals, businesses, schools, universities, brownie groups, Boy Scout groups.
Great. Well, one of the volunteer projects that you did near and dear to my heart was getting volunteers out for our Rec Deeds Triathlon this fall. That was wonderful. I really appreciate it. Now tell us a little bit about some of the upcoming opportunities that you have for volunteers.
Right now, what we're doing is putting together, a lot of the parks are putting together some spring festivals, so everything's kind of in the works. There's going to be a festival at Jug Bay on the Patuxent, which is in South County. Downs Park also is going to have a spring festival. Earth Day festivals are going to be springing up. Springing up in spring. And also we do kind of tailor projects for groups. So if I have a group that is looking for something at a certain park or a certain recreation center, then we can kind of have a conversation and tailor a program or a project for that group.
Great. So how can these groups get in touch with you to find out what opportunities there are, or if they are interested?
There's several different ways of getting in contact with us. We have the website, which is on the Anne Arundel County Recs and Parks, and there's a link to the volunteer page. We also have a email address, which is volunteer@aacounty.org, or they can contact the office at the phone number that I don't remember.
That phone number is 410-222-7300, and you can ask for Nikki Fiacco, or you can just tell them that you're interested in volunteer opportunities and they'll direct you to the right place. Well, thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about volunteers. And one of the things is the main rule here at Recs and Parks is to have fun, and volunteering is fun.
It is, and we talk a lot about our natural resources here, and volunteers are a great resource to our department. So come on out, volunteer. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. We mentioned cleanups that are coordinated by the department, and there is so much more that they do over there at Recreation and Parks.
We want to pass along some good news about the economy. We have been talking about all the families and even pets out there struggling to get by. But according to a recent report in the Annapolis Capital, unemployment is way down. For the first time in 5 years, the Department of Labor, Licensing, and Statistics reported more than 300,000 workers in Anne Arundel County. Statewide, Maryland created 14,000 jobs in October, according to draft data. That pushed the jobless rate down slightly to 6.7%. The state reported that professional and business services were up by 3,900 jobs, with gains of 4,700 in professional, scientific, and technical services boosting the sector.
Jobs.
You took my line. We still have our jobs. Nailed it.
For now, but you know, people watch the show too many times and you don't know.
I know.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Jobs. You know, there's a lot of vacancies out there. I saw a report a couple days ago from our Anne Arundel County Economic Development Office. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 18,000 people estimated to be unemployed in Anne Arundel County, but 13,000 jobs available. So it's an interesting, that's the challenge that we're in now. It seems like there's a lot of jobs out there, but the people that are looking for the jobs don't have those skills that are going to match for those 13,000 jobs.
Well, we certainly provide assistance.
We do.
To help those folks get jobs. So you can always...
Workforce development offices.
Workforce development.
Many of those around the county. One actually right here in Glen Burnie in the Henry Hine building in the Glen Burnie Town Center. Come down, talk to those good folks there at Workforce Development, and they'll certainly try to find jobs for them. Do you remember the first interview that you ever went on? What was it?
Oh gosh, my first job. What was my first job?
I bet you worked in a pizza place.
No, but you were close.
A pizza place girl.
And it was an ice cream shop.
Ice cream shop.
At the Bowie Bay Sox Stadium.
Wow.
That was my first job.
Did you work with Louis?
I did work with Louie.
All the kids want to know about Louie.
We had the infamous baseball helmet sundae, which I had to perfect before I learned to dish it out to guests. But it had a frozen yogurt of your choice with chopped nuts and chocolate sprinkles, whipped cream, and a cherry.
Ooh.
And Louie was a frequent customer.
I bet Louie was. Louie looks like he eats, he got a little gut. He looks
Yeah,
like he eats a couple.
I was literally there for 2 weeks before they made me manager of the ice cream shop. So I was not even able to drive and managing the inventory at an ice cream shop.
You were that good.
I've always been a pretty good worker, Eric. What was your first job?
I worked at Value Food in Severna Park.
Value
Those of
Food.
you out there that shopped at that store, I think it closed up 10, 15 years ago, but that was
Eric
my
got
first
a deal.
job.
Yeah.
I used to stock the frozen food and the produce and
Oh,
the
nice.
carts and did a little bit of everything. Actually, it was a great job. I worked there from when I was 15 till when I joined the military at 18. So it was a good first job, nice paycheck to take
What's your
home.
favorite
It was a
job
good
so
environment.
far?
This job,
This
of
job,
course, Kristen,
of course,
of
of
course.
course.
Anything to do with, no, county government's great.
Yeah.
The people that you get to work with here in Anne Arundel County government are great. They're all enthusiastic. Many of them are very intelligent people that really, this one over here, that really know what they're doing and do a good job. And
right.
they want to be there. They want to do
Yeah.
a good job for the citizens of the county every day. So that's always good to come to work with people like that.
Yes. Well, I want to close with something I feel is very important to discuss right now. As you probably heard in my very low register today, the cold flu season is upon us. Do not catch this. Stay away. Make sure you're taking all the proper precautions of using hand sanitizers and getting your flu shots.
There's really a plastic wall up between us.
Yeah. Yes.
Over
Yes.
there.
Right. But I hope that the kids are healthy. No one's getting sick.
Nobody's sick.
Well, what are your secrets?
Robies don't get sick.
How does the Roby household stay cold-free?
It's good family genes.
Good family genes.
Yep, good
guess
family
we're
genes. That'll do it every
lacking
time. Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of the Healthy Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are always available at blip.tv and on YouTube. And you can also subscribe to that free video podcast at iTunes or like us. Yeah, go ahead and do that on Facebook at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more news, highlights, and achoo!
Bless you.
Sickness from around
your county.
We'll see you next time.